Today we will discuss the electromagnetic wave propagation through the planar structure or planar transmission lines like strip line, microstrip lines, coplanar waveguide, etc. So first we will see that how electromagnetic waves are propagate and how the electromagnetic modes are generated in the strip line, and we will also see the design equation of the strip line. In figure A you can see the geometry of the strip line. In this geometry, we have a dielectric substrate which is represented by shaded portion. The height of the dielectric substrate is small b, and a strip of width capital W is insert in between the dielectric substrate. It's a conducting strip, and this dielectric substrate is covered by two ground plane, the upper ground plane and the lower ground plane. These ground planes are conducting ground planes. The strip line is insert in between the dielectric substrate is because to confine all the electromagnetic field inside the slab. In figure B, you can see that the regular line is representing the electric field and the dashed line is representing the magnetic field around the strip line. So we can say a thin conducting strip of width W is centered between two wide conducting ground planes of separation B, and the region between the ground plane is filled with the dielectric material. At the time of fabrication, first we design the one half of the dielectric substrate, and then by the etching process we develop a strip line over this dielectric substrate. The height of this dielectric substrate is b by 2. And then after fabricating the strip line again, we insert the second half of the dielectric substrate over it, and this becomes the strip line structure. Now here we have two conditions. The first one is that the dimension of if the dimension of the upper half is different from the dimension of the lower half. Let us suppose the dimension of the lower half is A and the height of the upper half is B. So that is called the asymmetrical strip line. Similarly, if the heights are same, that is B by 2 and B by 2, but the dielectric constant are different. Let us suppose the epsilon 1 is the dielectric constant of the upper half substrate and epsilon 2 is the dielectric constant of the lower half substrate. So that is called the inhomogeneous strip line. We can also use the air as a dielectric material, and we use air when we have to require the minimum losses. As we have seen the structure of the strip line, we have two conductors, the center conductor and the outer conductor, and this geometry is same as the geometry of the coaxial cable, which having the inner conductor and outer conductor and in between them a homogeneous dielectric material. So the geometry of the coaxial cable and the strip line is more or less similar. That is why the strip line is also support the transverse electromagnetic modes. And when it generates the transverse electromagnetic mode, it also support the higher order modes or higher order waveguide modes. And these modes can be restricted by these two methods. First, in the first method, we restricting both the ground plane spacing and the sidewall width to less than lambda d by 2. And another method is to insert the via in between the ground planes. The design equation, the ratio of the effective width and the height of the substrate is given by W upon B, which is the actual width of the strip and the height of the substrate, minus this value. So we have here we have two values. We will calculate the value of W upon B. If it is greater than 0.35, then it becomes 0. And if the ratio of W upon B is less than 0.35, then we will use this formula to get the ratio of effective width to the height of the substrate. Now, if we have to calculate the width of the strip line, then we will use this second formula. So in this formula, we have W upon B equal to X, or 0.85 minus under root 0.6 minus X. So again, we will calculate the value of under root epsilon R into Z naught. And if this value is less than 120, then W upon B will be equal to the X, and the value of X is given here, that is 35 upon under root epsilon R Z naught minus 0.441. And if this and if the value of under root epsilon R Z naught is greater than 120, then the value of W upon V will be equal to 0.85 minus under root 0.6 minus X. We can also calculate the attenuation of the strip line. In the strip line structure, there are again two kinds of attenuation: dielectric attenuation or attenuation due to conductor. So the calculation of the dielectric attenuation is same as the attenuation in the coaxial cable, that is alpha d equal to k tan delta upon 2, where tan delta is the loss tangent. And attenuation due to conductor, here alpha c equal to, again there are two values. So again we have to calculate the value of under root epsilon R into Z naught. If this value is less than 120, then we will use the first formula, and if it is greater than 120 ohm, then we will use the second formula. In this formula, there are two constants A and B. So we will calculate the value of A and B by using these two formulas. And in this formula, there is a term T. This T is the thickness of the strip line. Now in this numerical, we will calculate the width of the strip line. So here we have some data is given, that is characteristic impedance is 50 ohm. The thickness of the substrate is 0.32 centimeter, and the permittivity is 2.20. The loss tangent is 0.001, and the operating frequency is 10 gigahertz. First, we will calculate the value of under root epsilon R into Z naught. We have 2.2 as the dielectric constant, and Z naught is 50 ohm. So when we multiply these two terms, we will get 74.2. And 74.2 is less than 120. It means the value of W upon B will be equal to X. And the value of X is, given by 30 pi divided by under root epsilon R into Z naught minus 0.441. Now 30 into 22 upon 7, and the value of under root epsilon R into Z naught is 74.2. So we will put this value here, 74.2 minus 0.441, and we will get 0.830. This is the value of X. Now we will put this value here. So W will be equal to X into B. The value of X is 0.830, and the value of B is 0.32 centimeter. So it becomes 0.266 centimeter or it becomes 2.66 millimeter. Now we will see the simulation of a strip line or the designing of a strip line in HFSS by using all these parameters which we have used in this calculation. To design the strip line, we will use the same procedure. First, we will design the first half dielectric substrate. Before designing, we will not change the setting of the HFSS, and we will choose the box from, we will choose the box and randomly we design a box. Now we will assign the dimension to this box. I am taking A as a width of the substrate and the value of A is 20 mm. Same, I am taking the length of the substrate and again it is 20 mm because I am taking a square shape of dielectric substrate. Now the height of the substrate. So the height of the substrate is this is 3.2 millimeter. Here I am taking height as the h by 2. First I will design the half portion of the substrate. So it is 3.2 mm and the initial points are minus a by 2. Similarly, minus b by 2 and minus h by 2. These are the initial points or the position of the axis. So this is my substrate and I can see that it is center aligned. Now I am changing the name of the substrate. This is sub 1 and the material of the substrate is we have the dielectric constant is 2.2. So this is the dielectric constant of the Roser RT duroid. This is duroid and we have to require RT duroid. We have to require RT duroid having a dielectric constant 2.2. Okay. And I am changing the color and transparency. Now this is my half substrate. Now I will design the strip line on over it. So I am selecting a rectangular geometry and again randomly insert on over it. Now I have to assign the values. So the x-axis is this green axis. So I have to require the length 20 on the x-axis. So it is okay. On the y-axis, my width of the substrate is 2.66 and in the initialization I have to require here minus w by 2. Now I have a substrate and again I have to require the another part of the dielectric substrate. So I have two options. First one, I have to create a duplicate of this and insert on over this. And another option is I have to redesign the substrate. So here I am redesigning the substrate. And in this box, again, I have to give in the height is h by 2. I have to give in the height as h by 2, and rest of the parameters are okay. I have to assign the material. So it is Roser RT Duroid. I am making the color similar to the first box, and again the transparency is also make similar. Now you can see that the structure is designed. What I am doing, I am giving the name sub 2, and I am merging the substrate 1 and substrate 2 by this. Now you can see that this is the design of the strip line. Now I have to draw the ground plane on our 8. So this is upper ground plane, and similarly this is the lower ground plane. So now you can see that this is lower ground plane, this is substrate, this is upper ground plane, this is lower ground plane. Okay, now we have to assign the boundaries. So we are selecting all these three and assign boundaries, and we are assigning perfect E. Here in this project tree you can see that we have assigned the perfect E. Now we have to assign the excitation. So for the excitation, here I am also calculating the modes. So I am interested in the waveport. I will choose the YZ plane, and in this YZ plane I have assigned and in this YZ plane I draw this rectangle, and now I am assigning excitation waveport port 1. I have to require 3 modes, then finish. To design the same kind of excitation at the opposite end, we will choose this mirror option. We will just put cursor at the center and then paste here. So now we have another excitation at the opposite end. So here you can see that excitation is automatically assigned to the next port. So port 1 is this and port 2 is this, and the excitation is automatically assigned to this port. Now the overall structure is looking like this. Now we have to add the analysis. So we will add solution setup. We have 10 gigahertz is the solution frequency, and the minimum number of passes are 11. And then we will add the frequency swap. Here I am selecting fast, and I am simulating this from 5 gigahertz to 25 gigahertz, and I am saving radiation fields. Now I am validating my structure and then save on the desktop. Now the analysis is going to be start. After completing the simulation, we will see the electric field and magnetic field. So we will select the strip line and the substrate and then right click and then plot field, electric field. First I am seeing the magnitude of electric field for all over the box. Now here you can see that all the electric field is confined in between the two ground planes. And when we will see the animation, we can animate. We can also see the animation of this electric field. So here you can see that how energy is propagating through the strip line structure. We can also plot the vector electric field here. So it will give us more information. Here I am giving first the some transparency to this material. Now I have also given the transparency to the ground planes. Now I want to see the, now I am also interested to see the vector electric component. So again I will select the inner conductor and the substrate and then assign and then plot field electric vector E. Now I can see the electric field in the vector form also. So you can see that all the electric field is confined in between these two conductors. So that is the beauty of this strip line structure. Now we can also see the some different modes. So in the field overlay, we have to edit the source. I am making it 0 and I am exciting the next higher order mode and then apply. So here you can see that how the next higher order mode will looks like. Again, I can also see the third mode, edit source. I will make it 0 and I am exciting the third source. So here you can see how the third mode will looks like. And you can also see the animation. But we are not supposed to propagate the higher order modes in strip line. We will also, we will concentrate only on the dominant mode. Now you can see that how the electromagnetic waves are propagating through the strip line structure. Now again I am switching on the first mode. Now I want to see the magnetic fields, how they will generate in the strip line. So again I will select right click, plot fields, magnetic field, vector H. So you can see that these circular arrows are representing the magnetic line and these vertical arrows are representing the electric field lines. So what you have seen in your theoretical explanation of strip line, you can see here that it is exactly same which you have studied in your course. So this kind of by this way the electric and magnetic fields are generated and propagated through the strip line structure. But strip line structures are not so popular because to insert the active and passive microwave component on the strip line it is difficult. The next video we will see how to design a microstrip line. Thank you.